Hello everyone and welcome back to Make Your Mind. Got a little bit of a spur of the moment video that I'm making today. If you saw my post on Instagram, you saw that I was in the process of making things like these. I made this out of the Sculpey Clay not too long ago. It's actually just a fridge magnet. And this was something that I had made just to make something cool. Of course, I got the red, gold, and green on there, just as a symbol for the channel. But I got the palm trees with the coconuts, and then a beach with the waves coming in with the sun in the background. And this is the OG. This is the first one that I've ever done, and it's totally hard. I baked it already, and I had a couple more that I had made. And this video today, I'm actually going to be making another one for you right now as we speak. So here I had my portable board where I had started making them. As you can see, I've made a bunch of them. I got one in the process, which I will get started, but let me explain what some of these other ones are. So as many of you know, I recently took a trip down to the Keys, and especially Key West. And it was a fantastic trip. I had not been down there since I was a young child, and it was a very different experience going there as an adult. It was much more fun. But when I was down there, I saw some of the landmarks and just had an absolute incredible time. And these are some of the clay sculptures that I have made. Talking about it, like I made this one right here. This one is just two palm trees with a hammock and a little igloo cooler right here with the sun in the background. And then this one, I do like the sunset, where I tried to make the pastel sky, you know, with the orange clouds as the sun is setting. And there's a lot of good ones here. And then of course I made world famous Key West Rooster. This one was a lot of fun to make, especially with all the feathers and everything is so detailed. I got the spur and then the tail feathers coming down. These guys were everywhere down there, and they were crowing at like 4 in the morning. Loud little pricks. But here is also another staple of the Keys, the iguana. Got him sitting on a piece of driftwood with his tail whipped back. I got all the stripes and all of this. That was a fun one. This was a really fun one to make, and of course I got the red, gold, and green. Then I made this one up here, which is a sailboat with the wake going across with the land in the background and the clouds and the sun, and the sort of wood border frame going around it with the red, gold, and green. That's a cool color. And of course I made this. This is the sign at mile marker 0, which is actually when you go to the southernmost point, the last part of the road, it says US 1 ends, and then you see mile 0. And I just made this as fun. This is actually the glow-in-the-dark clay, so this can actually glow in the dark when the time comes, just like the sign does. Now, this one in particular, this one has nothing to do with the Florida Keys, but this actually has more to do with my hometown where I live. There was a famous landmark that was created in the early 1970s by a concrete artist that was basically designed and created for this rich landowner. I remember some of the story, but I'll have to elaborate more. I plan on doing a bigger sculpture of this. But this is Annie the River Dragon, which was the dragon at Dragon Point. Dragon Point has become quite famous over the years, and in 2004, the entire concrete statue was destroyed in the hurricanes. And it was really cool, because there was an entrance in the back by the tail here, where you could walk through, and there were tables and a little like chairs and things that were made of concrete. And when this statue was first created, they would actually put propane to come out of the mouth and actually cause it to spit flames. And this was Annie the River Dragon, and eventually they had eggs. There were 4 babies that were sculpted into the rocks. They were the spawn of Annie the River Dragon. It's a real staple of my hometown. But if you're ever curious, look up Dragon Point. It's quite an incredible story, and that would be my absolute dream, is to be able to remake Dragon Point in full scale. I mean, but put it somewhere, where it would be a little bit more of a viable area, because the rocks and the coquina over there, it just tears it apart. But irregardless, let's go ahead and get started real quick on the next sculpture that I'm going to do. And this sculpture is another key. It's going to be based on the keys again, kind of like these ones here. So let me move my board to the side. I already somewhat started it. So as you can see, it's getting towards sunset, and the sun is beginning to set at the ocean. I made this earlier, and I also have this, and this, and these two things right here. And once again, this lo-fi music is being created by Stomp's playlist. Definitely go check out Stomp's. They got some incredible music. And I got this right here, and I think I may end up using a little bit of that as well. Let's see, I also probably want to use... Where is that? I got some more of my Sculpey Clay here. Let me go ahead and grab some of the black as well. I may need a little bit of that. But as I've stated on some of my some of my latest videos, I'll be using more of this clay more often, which is the Sculpey oven bakeable clay, just because it can harden and it can become a more permanent addition to the sculptures that I make. Because the one problem I do have is living here in Florida. It gets really hot, and okay, don't you dare. Sorry about that. I got a walnut background on here. But one of the things in Florida is that it gets extremely hot, and it has actually caused some of the sculptures that I've kept to melt over the years, because once again, the stuff doesn't get hard, it doesn't harden. So that's a problem that I got to learn to deal with, and this is a part of it. Slowly over time, I'm going to be eventually every single one of these sculptures is going to be oven baked, hardened, and is going to become a more permanent addition to the sculptures that I make. But this sculpture that I planned, this magnet that I plan on making here, is actually based on a book by Ernest Hemingway. And as we get started, I know it's already been a couple minutes in, but it's all good. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? For those of you who don't want to see the dialogue, click on the timestamp down below for the little cheaters out there, and let's begin. So, the book that was made by Ernest Hemingway was essentially a book about man versus nature. And it's an old story, a very old tale. But quite an incredible one, I must say. Let's use my picture for reference. So this is going to come up like that. But before I do that, I'm going to make sure that get the rest of it looking good. Actually, you know what? I just realized something. I'm going to change that out for this. I'd say this is the depiction that I'm making today has been recreated and illustrated by artists such as Wyland and Guy Harvey. When I went down to the Keys, there was actually the Wyland's gallery was there, and I'm pretty sure his name is Peter Wyland. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. Alright, so far so good. oh crap, there we go. Before I attach that, I want to put the details. That's going to go there. That's going to be a slightly darker one. Like I said, this Sculpey Clay is actually very, very easy to work with. And if you're curious as to what exactly the type of clay this is, I did a review a couple months back, actually showing off what this was. So if you click on the top right up here, you will see the review that I did, and I actually made a sculpture. I made a sculpture for my mother that was actually based on Among Us. That was fun. God, that was a game that certainly came and went. But it's all good. Things change, as they always do. But yeah, making these sort of these little magnets and everything, these just helps to sort of clear my mind, calm me down, and help to boost my creativity a little bit. Woo! This is good music. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a little too long, so let's sharpen that a little. There we go. That's nice and sharp. And now let's see, what can I use? There's my little poker tool right here. Okay, I'm going to flatten it out a little bit. And then this is essentially going to go up here and go just like that. Then what I'll do, just so that it blends in a little bit better, because it's meant to look like a sunset. So let's go ahead and take this back off. And we know where it goes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this... I'm going to need a little bit more. Let me put that orange right over there. Yeah, I'm lucky that my local Walmart actually carries this Sculpey Clay, so I'm able to, every once in a while, I buy like a little pack of it. Okay, so I'm simply putting this here as a backer, so that way, when I put this on, it doesn't flop down, because this stuff, it stays pretty soft until it eventually hardens in the oven. And it also gives it a little bit of a 3D effect. So it's actually sort of coming off, and then I will do a border around it, but this will be kind of sticking out to give it a little bit of depth. And then this right here is going to be the main... Okay, what I'm going to do, actually I'm going to change it a little bit to make it look more like a splash effect. And for those of you who are curious, the sculpture in question is actually my depiction, my basically fridge magnet handmade sculpture version of the book called The Old Man in the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. Ernest Hemingway was very famous in the Florida Keys and an incredible author, and one of his books, which is this, The Old Man of the Sea, essentially depicted the life of an old man who was a fisherman who would go out and essentially catch, he would both line fish and spear fish, or in that days it was harpooning, he would harpoon fish for a living. And by living, it literally was what it would mean, basically it means to eat every day. And one day, the old man goes out to fish in his small boat, and upon waiting to catch something like a cobia, or maybe even a tarpon, or maybe even a kingfish or a wahoo, instead he hooks what could quite possibly be the biggest blue marlin on record. And it's so big that it takes him, his boat, his line, and everything, and takes it out to sea. And the whole story is basically about him fighting against this one fish, and talking about how he was able to, basically when he caught the fish on a line, the fish was carrying him out to sea, and in the process of carrying him out to sea, he actually harpooned a bunch of other fish and even dolphins, just so that he could eat, so that he could have enough energy just to bring this marlin in. And one of the most incredible things about the story is that he ends up tiring the marlin out and eventually catching it. And then the entire second half of the book is essentially him just trying to bring the marlin back into shore and having to fight off all of the sharks that were in the process of trying to eat the marlin that he had caught, because it was too big to bring on the tiny, essentially, rowboat or canoe that he was on. Now let's see. It's gonna be difficult to get. It's gonna be difficult to get the depiction of the old man, especially with how small this is, because you can see how big this is compared to my hand. This is pretty small. This is one of the smaller, and I'm trying to give the idea of depth. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the boat on the surface of the water like this. Okay, I think that's about as good as I can do. Despite, because you can, I mean, look at how small that is compared to my finger. I can't get much detail with this clay, especially because the more you use it, the more it likes to stick to your hands. So this is essentially my clay depiction of the old man in the sea. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this mix that I have. It's a mix of tan and brown and yellow, and I'm going to make a wooden surround. Once again, I recently surpassed 1,200 subscribers. I can't believe it. I know I probably I should be posting more often, but with my work schedule and everything, that's just kind of how life is at the moment. So I apologize for the delays sometimes in content, but life comes at you fast. Move these over. And I know that the Sculpey Clay, it only gives you a certain amount of colors. But I do plan on, actually, right after recording this, I do plan on putting these in the oven and baking them. And like I've said before, I have had almost no one say anything. But if you would like a little slice of this channel, let me know if you want me to reopen the Etsy store. I've had almost no one has said anything, and knowing most of you, you're probably not even watching to this point. many of you don't watch more than about, according to my analytics, most of you viewers, you only watch about 2 minutes worth of this video, so I guess I'm just here by myself, and that's fine by me. But I do appreciate the views regardless. Ooh, bless me. Sorry about that. But like I said, this channel it's make your mind. Feedback is important, so I do need to know what you guys want to see, and there's some things I can do and some things I can't do, so once again, it's just me on here. There we go, that's a little bit more defined of a sword. Now that looks more like a marlin. And like I've said before, if you want to see some of these sculptures early, definitely go check out my Instagram. The link is in the description, and it's also on my main page here on YouTube, so go check it out. And I've actually thought a lot about diversifying the content, and maybe posting some of these videos to something like maybe Rumble. I did try BitChute, but BitChute has major problems when it comes to uploading videos, because I've had moments where I've tried to upload, 12, 13 different times, and the video still won't even work. So that's, yeah, BitChute, you gotta fix your stuff, guys. BitChute needs a lot. I am not confident in posting these videos onto BitChute. However, I have been using Rumble as of late, and it seems like if I do want to post more of these videos, I may start a Rumble channel. I don't know. What do y'all think? It seems like Rumble is getting really big, and it's possible that it may even become bigger than YouTube, so I don't know. I'm just looking at the trends. I know everybody's big on TikTok, but I have my own personal reasons why I don't want to use TikTok. Mainly because I'm not a fan of the Chinese. Sorry. Sorry, CCP. You're not sucking me into that stuff. But here we go. Let me finish this wood surround. And there we go. This is my clay depiction of The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. A very famous story. And if those of you who are curious, there's actually some fantastic audiobooks here on YouTube that you could look up. But once again, this concludes the video. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to leave a like down below. Leave a comment, please. Feedback is necessary. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss when more videos drop. Let me go ahead and add this. Add this to the rest of my... I love this because I'm able to translate a lot of the stuff that I do into this clay format. And I've made a bunch of these, and here's my latest. That looks really cool. And once again, don't forget to check out Stomp's playlist for some amazing lo-fi that you've been hearing this whole time. Truly awesome. I love lo-fi music. It's so chill. And stay tuned for more content. Content will be coming soon. Thank y'all for watching. I will see all of you on the next video here on Make Your Mind.